Um, I'm about to go into the library and see if Miss Susan is here. She was witnessing him stalking my vehicle while I wasn't at it. She's not the first person to tell me that. Of course, she is aware of who my stalker is, where there's these other people that were telling me about an old guy with an RV looking at my stuff or messing with my shit. Well, I can't positively identify that it was that guy off of their descriptions because, well, they didn't know who that old guy was. This lady here, though, Susan, she does. The thing is, this guy has stalked me all the way from Hood River, and police have done everything they possibly can to help him to get away with this shit. Well, they're supposed to do something about it right away. They're supposed to start an investigation right away. I am an at-risk and disabled adult. This is what the law requires of them. Just like all the rest of these mandated reporters. They're not optional reporters, they're mandated reporters, and failure to do their jobs results in people being killed. But they don't care who dies. They care about getting their paycheck. Anyway, I gotta go inside and I gotta talk to Susan, and hopefully she'll try to help me to turn these people in. Here's the thing. When I try to turn my predators in alone, I get blown off and brushed off. I have zero help with this shit. And my predators get to do it over and over and over again, and over and over and over and over. And all I can do is speak up on Facebook and YouTube because I have no friends in real life who are going to help me turn this in immediately, the way that a person would do so if they took it seriously. People aren't going to take it seriously until they look at evidence. They're not going to look at evidence until they take it seriously. Well, at least Susan, she got to be there for a part of this situation. Part of it. The cops will not do their jobs for a homeless and disabled male. We're not human beings to them. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people in this town who have been predatory to me. They very much treat me like I'm a person now. Case in point, Tyler Crabtree. The first day I met him, I had to call the cops on his ass. He and I get along pretty well now. There are some people whose personalities I like, but they're people that want to be liked, and it shows. People like Eli Friend. I don't know what the situation is with him, but I'm willing to look at his side before passing judgment on the situation. Because everybody should be allowed that right. We don't get that right in the United States. It's looking like Susan is not here today. She usually isn't on Thursdays. I'm just hoping. If she was here, it's about lunchtime for her though. Hello. I'm still breathing.
There you go. That's all.
Yeah. I was totally down in Pacific City and I like that little one down there too. It's so nice, yeah. Nice folks. It is, believe me. Yeah.
Anyway,
Alright. She wasn't in there. Well, it's Thursday. She usually is not there Thursdays. That, Christian feller, I guess, is done playing his guitar. Alright, let's get back to that creepy old fucker from Hood River. He's not from Hood River. I got a bunch of recordings with him, but I need a place where I can sit down and go through literally thousands of hours worth of recording. I don't have that. I can maybe do that an hour at a time if I am physically able to get my computer into that goddamn building. If I'm able to. There's James Murphy with him creeping on Shayna, trying to get her alone so he can get her to do some drugs and take advantage of her. Do some wrong shit. You can also see plainly and clearly that with Logan and Shayna being recorded on my channel, yeah. Probably should have fucking listened to me, as always. Between listening to me and giving me the mentally ill treatment, Fucking idiots. Between listening to me and giving me the mentally ill treatment. Well, I got the mentally ill treatment from Officer Waylon Lolatai. And many other officers in Boulder, police and sheriff's department alike, took part in it. But then again, nobody helped me to get a single one of those body cameras. My public pretenders wanted to tell me it would take an act of God. That is not legal resource. No, in reality, it takes a public pretender who does more than just fucking pretend. We got public pretenders quitting nationwide because there's no such thing as justice. They're not getting paid enough for that shit. That's right. These people get paid whether they win or lose. But it's our lives at stake, not theirs. And while they're getting paid for this, we're being run through hell. Expensive hell. And in the United States, nobody cares who you are. They care about popularity. Are you popular? Will you enhance their prestige? Fucking stupid. This guy who stalked me here from Hood River, his phone number's up now, and his license plate number. And it's not that I didn't try getting it to the police. It's the police were busy talking over me. It's not that I didn't go to the mental health places. It's that they were busy talking over me. When it comes to crimes committed against at-risk adults, they need to take it seriously, and they absolutely don't. Meanwhile, you get to see what it's like when I have to go to cops who committed felonies against me, and I have to go turn these cops into themselves. And I have to turn other crimes committed against me into these very same felon cops. How's that supposed to work? I watched Deputy Reeves assault a 14-year-old girl right here in this Safeway parking lot. And guess what? Officer Sadler showed up to that situation. Blew me off. I wasn't the only witness to the assault. We've got at least one other witness to the assault recorded on this channel, as well as the assault itself recorded on this channel. And when it comes to protecting children, I don't take that lightly. When I say that parents can't do, I mean it. I don't have to be afraid of losing my children if I go to prison. You like that smile there? Yeah, it's actually no smiling matter, is it? See, it's not the fact that I'm willing to go to prison or jail to protect children. That's not the scary part. You know what the scary part for these predators is? The fact that I already have. I have already been to jail for protecting people's kids. I have already been to prison for protecting people's kids. Not just their kids. I literally had to make 3 phone calls anonymously and 3 phone calls live on YouTube to try to turn in the abuse from Rayanne Ingersoll against Amy Kalina Kingery's 2 daughters. Now what ended up happening with that? Ended up having to break the law to force the cops to do their jobs. What the hell, Alexander? Did your mullet get stuck in a weed whacker? I got a question for you. I got a stalker issue and I need help stopping it. It's a sick pervert from Hood River. The one that stalked me here in the RV. I need help turning it in. I can show you the stuff on YouTube. I did record the situations with him, but he's getting out of control. He's stalking me from one parking lot to another. Anyway, I got plenty of time so you can do your bags and all that. I got to go charge up my phone in my car anyway. But I'm parked over there where I usually park in the library parking lot. When it comes to predators, they stop when we make them stop. But the only way to make them stop is to work together. All you nerds, you remember what it was like when all the popular kids worked together? And everybody else expected to listen to the popular kids? You get one kid that didn't do anything wrong except be born with bad eyesight and a runny nose. And all of a sudden you got a bunch of people being mean and cruel and evil to that poor kid. And they say, oh, it toughens them up. No, it doesn't. You know what? A life without love is not worth living. How can you tell if the people in your life actually love you? When times are tough, when you're taking abuse, do they tell you you just need to man up, or do they help you to turn it in? Do they talk over you, or do they listen? Do they try, or do they make excuses? When my little sister let me know that people were threatening her life and that the police were stalking her, I spoke up right away. But as far as the courts go, I am still a disabled homeless man. I have no rights. Without my sister helping me to turn that in, I just get treated like I made it up. Without Sarah Bacon helping me to turn in the threats against her family, I just get treated like I made it up. Like I made her and her family up. No matter how much I recorded on this channel. Let's see if I can get myself into the car and get the car. Oh, god damn it. Started and beeping. So I can put my battery charger in. Alright. Now this Murphy feller. In all this time, the police could have done something to help. Any one of these services could have done something to help. But instead, what do? Well, they had me go there and waste my time. Talk over me. Lie to me about what the law states. And each one of them knows that they're fucking lying about it. And each one of them that pawns me off onto another agency knows that they're doing it wrong. They're not supposed to pawn us off on the other agency. These people at the therapy don't want to do their jobs as mandated reporters because it could take literally all day long for them to do their mandated reporter job, not optional reporter. Well, you know what that means? It means that all of these homeless junkies that they have lined up, 50 minutes at a time and then 10 minutes in between, all day long. So you get 8 of those in an 8-hour day. 8. And if you have to spend all day doing the mandated reporter thing, there's 7 of those clients who are not going to get heard. 7 of those clients that you're going to miss your appointment. Now that appointment gives you money. You get special funding when the person's on drugs or a drug addict. And the longer you can keep them signing their name and showing up, the more they can bill the American people for this. They're not doing their jobs. They're not protecting us. That's why we need a friend or family member there who cares. When we're talked over, somebody who isn't just going to let them talk over us. But how can we even hope for that when everybody's so busy talking over us? They have no idea what problems we have, but they want to tell us about how their problems are magically worse as their excuse for doing nothing. Oh, I don't have time, I don't have time. Really? Because I got to tell you, if somebody was threatening to kill my kids, I guarantee you I'd make the fucking time. I guarantee you, if I was Nick or Sarah Bacon, I would make the fucking time. And I would be glad for anyone willing to make the fucking call with me, especially if they're willing to record it. Never trust an adult that asks you to keep secrets. That's one of the first things we learn in the system. A lot of rapists, murderers, and pedophiles become foster parents. The foster care system in the United States is a joke. But sure, we send some rockets over to Ukraine, and magically we're great and wonderful heroes again, huh? No, the fuck we're not. Fact is, my fellow countrymen are superficial. It's what they've been taught. It's what they've been trained to be. They haven't seen enough death. They haven't seen more with their own two eyes. And the ones who have saw it for the wrong goddamn reasons. If I even threaten to do back any of the things that have been done to me, I am harmed greatly by the very same people who tell me that those things aren't illegal if someone does it to me. People who want to play pocketbook lawyer after telling me that they can't help because they're not a lawyer. Bitch, you're a witness. Now, this James Murphy feller and his long-term abuse. He's not the only stalker that I have. But my predators have used the term mentally ill to deny me my rights as a human being. And to deny me my rights as an American citizen. And to deny me my rights as a disabled American. Yeah, look, every time I hear a kid scream. Every time I hear a woman scream, too. That Murphy feller. If the cops in Hood River had done their fucking jobs, there would be repercussions for him right now for stalking me. If they had done their jobs when I got here to Tillamook, there would be repercussions for James Murphy for stalking me. If the cops or Nicole Peralta had done their jobs in Nebraska, we could have stopped this abuse years ago. These are all mandated reporters. Terry Jeffson, the school nurse in Broken Bow, Nebraska. There's a guy here, works at Starbucks. He knows the Jefferson family. Happens. Some of you know I take this job very seriously. When it comes to child molesters, like Robert Franklin Mornick, and it comes to actual schizophrenics who are violent, like Robert Farnsworth, then people want to tell me to go to Helping Hands. I don't have $400 a month to spare. I don't have 4 days a week to go running around to fucking appointments. For meetings that I don't need to go to. I'm not gonna go to an AA meeting and listen to a bunch of fucking wine tits whining about the lives that they destroyed. Oh, poor them. No, I get enough of that out here on the fucking streets. Oh, poor you, you're a drug addict. Well, you know what? I do feel bad for you because I understand that trauma, not marijuana, not beer, but trauma. Trauma is the gateway drug. I pretty much have to wait here until Susan gets back. I don't have anyone else I can go to. Susan is a witness. She witnessed him stalking my vehicle again yesterday. You know, a lot of times when he drives by, the reason that I know that he's there is because he fucking honks at me. Yo, shit out the window at me. This guy is not a good person. Oh, it finally loaded something up. Oh, that was smart. Now my eyeballs are on fire. Here's one from over a month ago. My stalker, Murphy. Why do I go to the internet? Because going to the cops results in them changing the subject over and over again and sending me somewhere else. This one's from 4 days ago. You goddamn right. Toyota Dolphin RV, plate number HD 44648, child predator and my stalker from Hood River. Here's one from 9 hours ago. Having to call the cops on the cops. Stalker James Murphy, Toyota Dolphin RV number HD 44648. Here's another one from a month ago. It's having problems loading up. Let's see. Let's see if this is it. The thing is that as an at-risk and disabled adult, having to go public puts me at further risk, but not going public allows these predators to do it anyway. A lot of my predators became my predators because after bullshitting me and lying to me, or stalking me and harassing me, they realized they were on the fucking internet doing that shit. Hell no, they ain't happy. A lot of these predators got away with this shit because they were able to harm me when I didn't have the ability to record. Or, like in the situation in Rawlins, Wyoming, I didn't have the ability to record it live. Is this it? It's being a pain.
Welcome to Starbucks.
No, that ain't it. I tried to turn this guy in Hood River and in the Dalles. The cops want to tell me just don't record it and don't put it on the internet. With all due respect, I have to because cops won't do their fucking jobs. The assault by Officer Waylon Lolatai. That goes on my arrest record. As if I was the one who assaulted someone. And that's not fucking okay. It's not okay for them to feign an assault because somebody tried to tell on them. And that's the problem with having to go to a department that has a history of violence against homeless people, which is almost every department in America. For me, I have to wait for somebody to pretend to care, to pretend to be a friend or family member. Ah, here's it is. 2 witnesses to a pervert in Hood River. This is Logan and Shayna talking about James Murphy. Thank goodness I got the paperwork. Now I have evidence of the guy's name. I actually have the ability to turn in the man's name. Now, I could have gone through, if I'd have had the time and the access, I could have gone through my evidence in my audio recordings and found that stuff. The problem is getting an officer to not blow me off and pawn me on to mental health. The reason that it's going to take so long, the reason that it takes longer than an hour, is because it's been ongoing. This man has been doing this for over 1.5 years. What have the goddamn cops done but victimize me for trying to turn it in? We're cleaning up there, and there's a few other encounters that they've had with that man since that I think are important, and they felt were important enough to tell me. So if they want their faces on camera, they can point the camera, at themselves. If not, they can point it up at the sky. But I'm going to give the young lady the camera first because I feel that Well, you're more likely to listen to her. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to.
I don't want to.
Now, if it says rotate like it does right now,
Yeah.
then it means that it's not. There you go.
Okay.
Point it up the street or down the street.
Hello. So, oops. Okay. So, one time I was hanging out with the old guy, and we were talking about, well, I was trying to make...
The guy kept changing his name. It's always a different name every time you asked him. So now I have an actual name to go with it. James Murphy. Instead of just the old guy.
We set him up with, like, this girl I knew, like, jokingly, and she was, like, 26, 27, and we started talking about my cat, and then he asked me how old she was, so I thought he was talking about my cat, and I said that she was, like, 15, 16, and he's like, oh, that's perfect, and I was like, what do you mean, because I thought we were talking about my cat, and then I realized he was talking about the girl, and I said, no, she's 26, and then he's like, oh, that's perfect anyways, but that was really messed up, and then he got banned from...
There's about 5 or 6 different stories that are recorded overall. With other altercations and situations with this man. Just with Logan and Shayna. I mean, the situation that happened up at the Hood River Park and Ride. That's where I met Logan and Shayna. The next day, that's when that old guy was going to assault me in the McDonald's, and thank goodness for Logan and Shayna. He was going to assault me over lies told by Hood River Police Department. This guy doesn't care if what he's saying is true or not. The judge doesn't fucking care either. That's the problem with reputation. The police assumed I was guilty and committed a lot of felonies in Colorado. After Natalie was dead and they realized how badly they'd fucked up, same thing in Chapel, Nebraska. Same thing in Chesapeake, fucking Virginia. Those cops straight up fucked up big. And it got one of my friends killed. It got me and my friends and family members threatened and harassed. Children's lives threatened by these pieces of shit. Cops using these people's children as a bargaining tool. My only options are to either take the abuse or kill my predators. I've tried to Charlie out. I'm not allowed. See, here in America, once your reputation's been destroyed, especially on paper, nobody cares. Now, these predators will all utilize the jurisdiction thing. Oh, we can bring up anything we want from any jurisdiction we want. But Sean Schwartz isn't allowed to show any evidence from any of them. We'll just call him mentally ill. He can't face his accusers. We're not going to let him do any of the legal shit that needs to be done. We're going to take away all of his resources and leave him with a public pretender who's just going to fucking threaten, harass, and intimidate the victim. Just like the police threaten, harass, and intimidate the victim. My only options here, unless someone helps me to turn in, is to literally kill Murphy. Those are my options. And it's an option that I am not willing to take. Well, you guys talk about killing people all the time. That's your solution for fucking everything. Here in the United States, you talk about, oh, well, somebody should just shoot them. If it's in a foreign country, it's, oh, somebody should just nuke them. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of poor people who are used to going in alone and being blown off saying, hey, it'll never do any good. Well, it does some good for people in houses, doesn't it? What do they have that you don't? People to work together with them. When you want to say, oh, well, I did it all myself, and you're still in a fucking piss poor shit position bitching about your piss poor shit position. Why are you in that position? When you got trust issues out here, obviously there's a reason why. And obviously there's a reason why I have trust issues. There's a reason why all these people have trust issues with the police. Because they're poor people. Kayla Trujillo was selling drugs and she wanted me to feel bad for her. Oh, Sean, I got kids. I have to make a living, you know? Yeah, I know. But once you realized you were getting your drugs from Blaine McCrelius, who was one of my predators, did you ever try keeping your word? Or did you try helping that predator? She didn't just try, she succeeded. God damn. Gotta love this country, right? Meanwhile, this James Murphy feller, while I'm sent through 11 months of bullshit just here in Tillamook alone over that son of a bitch, and 7 months of hell prior to coming here over that son of a bitch. You see how easy it is for him to stalk me and harass me wherever I go? And how difficult it is to get the police or these mental health places to stop fucking talking over me and allow me to sit down in some peace and fucking quiet and write it down. Instead of having to run around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to find somebody else to go in with me because these pieces of shit won't do their jobs unless someone goes in with me. And then the people who really should be going in with me, the other witnesses to this shit, the people who claim to be my friends and family, who claim to love me. Really, if you loved me, if you were my friend, if you were my family, then you would have helped me to turn it in immediately. You would have admitted that I went to you for help instead of forcing me to post it on YouTube. I don't post on YouTube and Facebook to vent. I post it to show the truth. If I have to act naughty to protect people's lives, then God damn it, I will. It shouldn't be necessary just because of your sexism and your bias and your greed and your selfishness. Your sexism. The homeless, the disabled, and males are at the top of almost every single list of who's most likely to be abused and who's most likely to be killed by a serial killer, who's most likely to be killed by police, who's most likely to be killed by the public. You choose to kill homeless people. As the American public, you choose to kill homeless people. Two out of every 3 dead people in the United States, 2 out of every 3 people murdered in the United States every year are homeless. Why don't you hear about them? The treatment that the police gave to George Floyd. Do you know what that feels like? I do. Time and again, I do. Do you know what it's like to have a 300-pound man put his knee in the center of your back when you got back injuries? You know what it's like to get made fun of because you literally pissed yourself after that? To have that fucking fat piece of shit drag all of your personal belongings through that urine I've been through hell because people want to pretend that I'm schizophrenic in order to prevent my abuse from coming forward and being seen. The cops know that all they have to do is procrastinate and blow me off for a year. After a year, they can destroy the evidence. I got to come up with money to survive on, and I can't. I can't survive on $822 a month. Not running through all these fucking hoops to be victimized over and over again, to be blown off for an appointment in another month and a half. I went to the cops in Hood River about this guy. Of course, they refuse to do anything if I don't know my predator's address. But the cops will come and fucking harass me at Center Market for this Murphy feller who writes down the library as my fucking address. On the bright side, since he wrote down the library as my address, if he comes here to harass me, he's stalking me here. This is the address he wanted to put down. But I had to know literally everything about my stalkers or the cops weren't going to do shit. No, I don't know the name, the first and last name of every single person who fucking harms me. Predators choose victims of opportunity. When it comes to violent crimes, most violent crimes committed against you are committed by someone you know. The exception is the homeless. Only 1 in 1,000 recorded rapes or molestation. Only 1 in 1,000 are not committed by somebody that you know. Only 1 in 1,000 is committed by a stranger. Unfortunately, people don't listen to the homeless because strangers will literally murder you for being homeless. And that includes police officers. Who is it easier to fucking murder than a black person? A homeless person. I hear all these black folks saying, hey, unity, we got to work together. Yeah? Well, when harm comes to me, it's get to the back of the bus, honky. That's how I get fucking treated. Back of the bus, honky. My black friends who wanted to talk about how we need to work together when I went to them for help. They wanted to, oh, I'm worse off than you because of my skin color. I got it worse because I'm black. I had to listen to women. Oh, I got it worse because I'm a woman. No, the fuck you don't. You're not here to see my efforts because you don't care. Now, this Murphy feller stalked me from Hood River. Stalked Logan and Shayna. There are multiple situations that happen there in Hood River with Logan and Shayna and other predators. Logan and Shayna on nearly every occasion ran away because they were afraid of the police. All homeless people have to be afraid of the police. The ones who are not afraid of the police are lucky. They're rollovers. No, they're not. They're sellouts. My camera's overheating, my phone's overheating. I gotta end this video and I gotta shut her down, otherwise my phone is gonna explode. Not literally.